this just ain't gonna work for me. We've got a whole bunch of keys and we have no idea what they go to. But at first pass, doesn't seem that any of them go to this lock. So this is our potable water. So we'll just start.
Yeah?
Oh, so close.
Maybe just take one key around.
All right, great idea. So we're gonna do key number 745.
745.
Which doesn't work there. All right. What do we got here?
Oh, nice.
So we inherited a bunch of stuff. We don't even know what stuff yet. Obviously, like I said before, we're gonna just go through this thing and just make sure it's ready to rock. But in here, it's a nice little size storage area. We inherited some sort of solar panel. I'm sure we'll put that to good use. And some jack stands and stuff. That's cool.
And for the record, that was key number
745.
Hairbrush.
This is the, like I said, we really squeeze this thing in here, so if you see trees and stuff, that's because Emily's just having a walk through the bushes. This is the back side of our refrigerator. It looks like it's in pretty decent shape back here. There's no like rotting through. I don't see any evidence of mice or rats or squirrels or anything else nibbling on these wires. So that is a great sign. We might end up replacing this thing anyway, but the fact that nobody's made their home in here, I don't know, again, if you saw Danny's video about all the rat's nests that he found, but that we haven't found any yet is just great, because that whole mouse rat thing, I'm just not cool with it. Here we have, look at this abundance of storage.
Oh, look at that. That's huge.
Look at that. That's really good.
Whoa. I can't even see back there.
Yeah, lots of room. We got some fireplace tools. This looks like some sort of a stool. That goes to the waistlines. We're not going to touch that, but this is cool.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of videos about these things and sort of stabilizing the RV for different reasons, which we'll go into as soon as we have to make sure this RV is stable. But you're probably going to see more of these because they, by all accounts, look really, really helpful. So we're going to scour and shop for a screaming deal on those things. I guarantee you we're going to get an awesome deal on those deals. But lots of storage. Again, no signs of anything having had, I don't see any rat or any debris of any kind. And there's very little sign of water damage in terms of going through to this subfloor. So the inside is not pretty, but it doesn't seem to have done any deep structural damage in here, which is great. We don't want to tear out or replace anything that we don't have to. We got this rig for $1,500. So far, we put about $65 into it for gas, and we want that number to be as low as possible. And it's gonna run great, be safe, and I can't wait to see what it looks like when we're done, because that's going to be cool. Yeah, that's that. Again, we got more seals around. No windows seem to leak, but if we have to pull them out and make them watertight, we will. Another one of the videos Danny did that was really fun to watch was him rebuilding his tail lights. These all seem to be in really good shape. We haven't tested them out yet, but when we do, if there's anything wrong with them in terms of their wiring or their bulbs, we're probably going to replace all these things with LED bulbs anyway. And probably pull these things off, clean them, making sure that you know, people can see them from a distance. Don't know what this is. Alright. Alright, so this is, it says ACAR, ACAR. Let's see what's in here.
It's the Obama car.
Come on in here. Let's see what's behind door number 5.
What? I'm not sure if we can see it.
Well, there's a grill.
A grill, really?
Yeah. It looks like a grill. So we got a grill.
Sweet.
I don't know how they got it in there, but
What are those bars?
oh, so the guy that we bought this from, super nice couple, by the way. I'm from Ohio, and you know, if you're from Ohio, you know that if you run across somebody else is from Ohio and clearly a Buckeye fan, that calling out OH, that the kindred response is IO. And so this guy had an Ohio State shirt on. I'm a Buckeye fan. It was like our first connection, and then, you know, to find out also that we both served in the Navy, that was cool. But in any event, not to digress too much, but in here, in some parks, you have to vent your exhaust above the roof line of your RV. And so he fashioned an exhaust system for the generator to take it out of the side of the vehicle up over our roof line. Apparently, it gets really hot when you use it, and so like I said earlier, we don't plan on using our generator, and I'm going to design this rig so that we don't have to. And that being said, if we're in a position where that's our only option, we want to be able to exhaust this thing in such a way that it doesn't pose a safety risk, because we don't want anybody getting burned on the side of our rig. So we're going to have to figure that out. But like I said, hopefully we won't even have to deal with that, because we don't want to run this thing if we don't have to. If it isn't making us money, it's costing us money. I don't know where we're going to squeeze that in, but I like the sound of it. All right, again, our front and rear tanks, we've got to do some work on that whole system, and so we won't go into it right now, but I really want to get behind this door. We're going to try this ACAR key again and see. Oh yeah, there we go.
Really?
Yep. Kinda. All right.
Oh, nice.
Oh, so this is our shore power. That was one of the things that gave it away, the fact that the guy we bought this from, that he's in the Navy, because shore power refers when you go from ship's power to shore power when you pull in. But
You know, I think it's an RV term too, actually.
Well, it probably is an RV term. I first heard it in the Navy. So yeah, this is where we get our power to the RV when we're not operating off the solar, the engine, or the generator. I don't know anything about this system except that there's a black plug and a yellow plug, and so we're clearly gonna have to figure this thing out, and we'll do a video on that. So if you've got the same system and you don't know anything about it either, that you'll at least know what we know about ours. So this A-car key so far has worked, I think, in 2 out of 3 of these compartments, but not this one. Wah, wah, wah. So we're gonna try. This key says Midix on it. I don't know what Midix is. Maybe we'll, but
nice.
It does work on this. So this appears. So this is a storage space that just seems to have car-related stuff, and by that I mean some lug nut covers. And I don't remember. God, he told us this might be like a exhaust pipe to exhaust pipe fitting of some kind, whatever it is. That's gonna go away. We're not gonna use a tomato can as part of what keeps carbon monoxide out of one of our bedrooms. We do have he did say he didn't have a jack for this, so that's one thing. We got to figure out how much this thing weighs, and then make sure that we have a jack that is a no fuss, does exactly what we need it to do under as many circumstances as we can imagine, so that we have the tools that we need to be self-sufficient on the road. Obviously, we're going to have insurance, roadside assistance, and all of that, which we'll do a video on. Like, here are the options. Here's why we chose what we chose for us. But we're just going to go under the sort of, we want to be self-sufficient. And so we both want to be able to call and ask for help when we need it and have it be readily available, and to not ever need to do that. So we're going to do we're going to talk about how to be self-sufficient on the road. What do you think? That'd be a good one, right?
Yeah, once we figure out how to do that.
Well, yeah. We know nothing. Just want to be really clear that we know nothing about this. If it ever sounds like we do, we're going to try this A-car key again. Aha! Oh, so this is how we fill our drinking water tank. I don't know how many gallons we have.
I don't remember.
Yeah, we have no idea how big this tank is, but water, mini Waconie water's life. So we're gonna, we've spent a lot of time, well, and by we I mean Emily has spent a lot of time researching, how do we get the highest quality of water possible for the lives that we live in the best way possible. And so, I imagine she'll do a video that just talks about why we got to the water solution that we did, but that's where we fill it up. So here's like I said before, we've got a hitch in the front and the back. My understanding is that one of the benefits of having a hitch up front is that if you have a boat, that it's easier to put your boat in the water using a hitch in the front of your vehicle. We don't have a boat and have no intentions of getting a boat. We're thinking about kayaks, whether we do hard shells, tandems, solos, or inflatables. We're still trying to figure that one out. Another video. Anyway, so this is so as I mentioned before, this is an Dorado 1983 on a Ford Econoline chassis. Now, I don't for a minute know exactly what all that means or what it implies, but after picking the brains of people who know a lot more about these things than we do, that this is supposed to be powerful, reliable, easy and economical to work on. So when we saw the price and found out that this engine had been rebuilt, and that rebuild has less than 4,000 or 5,000 miles on it, that was a big thumbs up for us, because we live in Colorado like many other people who have RVs, and we intend on spending our time in the west-southwest area. We may bolt back east, but like it's not high on our list. So we wanted to make sure that the engine and the transmission and the mechanics of this rig, that we started off from a good place, and that we could be really smart about the money that we throw into making sure that this thing gets us where we want to go without a hitch. So having a rebuild felt like a really good place to start. We're going to be going through this entire rig mechanically to see like exactly what shape it's in. We did not, against all advice, we did not get this looked at by a mechanic before we bought it. We'll know soon enough how wise that was, but for $1,500, like, it was hard for us to feel like we were going wrong any way we looked at it. And we did walk away and have some breakfast in a local diner and like pause and reflect on this before we chose to buy it. Again, at $1,500, feels pretty good that by the time this is all said and done, that we're gonna come out in a good place. So we're gonna do some other videos about this entire, like, just how this thing runs. And so, because I don't know anything, I'm not gonna even go into it, because odds are you know a lot more than I do already. But we're gonna learn together and see what we come up with. That's it for the RV No Name show.
Ooh.